Can you tell me your name?
Hi, I'm Deirdre.
How long have you been working here at Heroes and Fantasies?
Actually, this month it's been a year.
All right. Do you like reading comic books?
I love it.
All
I
right.
love it.
Can you remember the first comic book you ever read?
Yes, it was a Batman comic book. It was one issue out of the Shaman story.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
It's still my favorite.
Cool. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, is Groo the first thing that both you and Mark collaborated on, or did you do other work before with him?
No, I met Mark when he was a younger man, and I met him, and they asked me to give a talk to the Santa Monica Comic Book Club, which he was a member, and I arrived, and there were about a dozen of young men, like 12 years old. So I talked to them. They were the fan club, and we became friends after that. I saw him in New York, took him to my magazine, and when I have done Groo, I was doing it without words. I have never thought yet, because Groo to me speaks in Spanish. It's a very strange phenomenon. So we did a comic for a gentleman who just passed away called Steve Gerber, who was a very good artist, and he did a comic called Howard the Duck. Destroyer Dog. No, Howard the Duck. And then Howard the Dog became in a conflict with Marvel Comics. And they decided to make a comic benefit Steve Gerber to get some money to sue Marvel. So they decided a comic called Destroyer Dog. So all of us, all the cartoonists were doing something for Destroyer Dog, Kirby, many others. And Mark called me and said, Sergio, don't you have a comic, some pages of that character that you have with Groo? Do you want to use it for this? I'll be delighted. So I sent these pages that I had done a little story of all silent with no words about Groo, and they used it in that comic, in the story of Dog, which became the first appearance of Groo. Then again, I started just doodling and doing a page, and I figured out, well, it looks good in print. I think we can do a very nice thing. And then that's when that company, Pacific Comics, came into being, and they asked me to do a 5-story for an insert in a comic called Stars Layer number 5. So I did a story there, and Mark, I asked him, if I do a comic, will you help me with the words? Because I write the way I talk. So I says, Mark, sure, you're a good friend, and he's a good writer. So I wrote it very basically, and then he just changed the dialogue. He even lettered that 5-pager. And then we started with the issue. He helped me with the words. And Stan Sakai did the lettering. And a gentleman called Gordon did a couple of issues of Groo, and then Tom Luth took over, and we have been doing the same thing since then. And yes, but that was the first thing. But we haven't done nothing before that. No, just been friends, that was it.
Listen to your woman, but not closely.